Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into something pretty revolutionary, I think, for anyone creating audio, musicians, podcasters, anyone who cares about sound quality, really. We are talking about Matchering. It's an open source audio mastering tool, and honestly, it feels like it could be a genuine game changer for independent production. So our mission today, our deep dive, is to really pull back the curtain on how this tool actually works. We want to illuminate the benefits for you, the creator, why should you care, and ultimately explain why it feels like such a significant shift in music and audio production generally. The goal is to demystify mastering, which often seems complex and costly, right? And really empower you with understanding this powerful new resource. Our insights today, they're drawn from a really comprehensive article on Matchering. It gives a great overview, concepts, benefits, the tech side, even a step-by-step guide.
Yeah, and that's where, for me, the real aha moments happen. What Matchering does, essentially, is it democratizes access to professional-sounding audio. I mean, think about the barriers usually, the complex software, the super expensive hardware, or just the cost of hiring a mastering engineer for every single track. Matchering kind of slices right through all that, makes high-quality mastering achievable for almost anyone, which is frankly huge for creative freedom, for efficiency, especially in home studios. It's fascinating stuff if you're curious about how you get that polished, radio-ready sound.
Okay, let's really unpack this then. What is Matchering exactly? At its heart, it's a powerful free software tool designed for automated audio mastering. But automated doesn't quite capture it. It's smarter than that, almost. Intuitive. Its main function is, well, brilliant, really. Imagine you've got your song, the target track you've worked hard on. Matchering takes that track and, using some clever processing, makes it sound like a professionally produced song you love. That's your reference. It's like giving your track a sonic blueprint, a DNA sample, telling Matchering, make my track sound like that polished one.
And the magic, the really fascinating bit, is how it does this. It's not just like slapping on a preset. No. It carefully analyzes both your track and the reference. Then it intelligently adjusts some key audio qualities in your song to match the reference. We're talking things like RMS, root, mean, square. For us audio folks, that's about the perceived energy, the consistent loudness, making sure your track has impact on streaming platforms without sounding, squashed. And beyond RMS, it looks at frequency response. So tweaking the tonal balance, bass, mids, highs, getting your track's sonic footprint closer to the reference. Then there's peak amplitude, managing the loudest points so they don't distort or clip. And crucially, stereo width. That's the perceived spaciousness, how wide it feels. Matchering adjusts all these things together intelligently to sculpt your sound.
That level of detail, yeah, that's what makes the difference between just a mix and a real master. The source material gives a great example, actually. Say you finish a track, maybe call it New Age Jazz, just an example from the source, and you love the sound of, say, Angela Bofill's I Try, that polished professional sound. You just tell Matchering, here's my track, here's the reference, and bam, it automatically works to give your home recording that professional character. It's pretty transformative.
Absolutely. And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture for indie musicians, content creators. This is huge. It's about taking those home studio recordings and making them sound genuinely polished, ready for release. It bridges that gap, that often scary gap between a demo and something distribution ready. Allows smaller artists to really compete on sound quality. It levels the playing field, doesn't it?
It really does. So we've seen what Matchering is and the clever tech behind it, this reference mastering idea. Now let's shift gears a bit, from the how to the why. Why should you care? Why is this tool more than just a neat trick?
This is where it gets really interesting for practical use. I mean, one of the biggest things is just the simplicity and efficiency. Mastering used to be this daunting, time-sucking thing, right? You don't need to be a full-on audio engineering guru anymore to get high-quality results. It puts the power back in the creator's hands.
Exactly. And piggybacking on that simplicity, the cost savings. You really can't overstate this. Because Matchering is 100% free software, it uses the GPL v3 license. Musicians can master their tracks for literally zero cost. Think about that. No expensive software licenses, no pricey hardware, and crucially, no paying mastering engineers $50 and hunters maybe $200 per track for an indie artist. That's potentially the difference between releasing an album or just a single. It lowers that financial barrier dramatically. And it's not just about the money, is it? It's about freedom, creative freedom, and avoiding that dreaded vendor lock-in, where you get stuck using one company's expensive ecosystem. Choosing free software like Matchering, maybe running it on GNU/Linux, Means you're opting out of those proprietary traps. You stay in control of your tools, your workflow. You're not tied to a corporation's decisions. It's about owning your creative process
Hmm.
completely.
Right. And that idea of control, of freedom, brings up another important point, especially for albums. How do you make sure the whole project sounds, well, cohesive, consistent? You don't want listeners fiddling with the volume track to track. Matchering has a really elegant solution here. You can master every track on your album using the same reference file. That ensures a unified sound, a consistent vibe, dynamics, tone. Everything hangs together. That consistency is just vital for a professional listening experience.
Absolutely vital. That unified sound really signals professionalism.
Okay, so behind this amazing capability, there's obviously some smart tech. Let's kick under the hood a little. What makes Matchering tick? Well, it's written mainly in Python,
Mhm.
which is great, popular language, readable, accessible for developers. And its source code is all up on GitHub. Open source, transparent. The article mentioned is pretty popular too, like over 2,200 stars, lots of forks, shows a healthy community around it.
Yeah, but beyond just the code, it's the philosophy, right? That commitment to free software. The GPLv3 license specifically, it's not just free as in beer, no cost. It's free as in freedom. That license guarantees users can use the software, study how it works, modify it, share it, no restrictions. That's incredibly empowering. You're not just using a black box. You can understand it, improve it, adapt it. It fosters collaboration. And to make it easy to actually run, it uses Docker. Anyone who's wrestled with software dependencies knows Docker is a lifesaver. Docker containers package everything. Matchering needs libraries, configurations into one neat little bundle so it runs the same way everywhere. No, it works on my machine. Problems. Just makes it reliable, portable, easy to manage.
Exactly. Which brings us to the platform aspect.
Yeah.
Why GNU Linux is really the ideal environment here. You can run Docker on Windows or Mac OS, sure. But Docker itself runs best, most efficiently, most stably on GNU Linux systems. It's native territory. So for Matchering, that combination Docker on Linux gives you the smoothest, most reliable setup. The developer specifically mentioned compatibility with Docker on CentOS, Debian, Fedora, Ubuntu, Pop.os 2. Using Linux here really helps ensure that rock-solid, predictable experience you want for mastering.
Okay, so we've talked power, philosophy, tech. What does this actually mean for you, the listener, if you want to try it? Is it complicated, it sounds like? Maybe not. The article even has a tutorial for Pop.os, which suggests it's pretty accessible.
Well, it's astonishingly straightforward, honestly. Designed to be easy. So the prerequisites. Basically, install Git that's for downloading the code in Docker. Get in the software. It's one command in your terminal, git clone from GitHub. Pulls down all the code. Simple. Then, launching it, you just go into the Matchering folder you downloaded and type docker.compose up dash -eod. That starts the service in the background. Done. For the actual mastering part, you open a web browser, go to http://localhost.87000. There's a simple web page. Upload your track as a target, upload your reference track, click a button, wait a few moments, and then you download your mastered file. It's really slick. And when you're finished, stopping it is just Docker Compose down. Clean and easy. You really don't need to be a command line expert or anything. It puts professional results within reach.
That's fantastic. It just reinforces that idea, doesn't it? You don't need a PhD or years of studio experience to control your sound anymore. This workflow makes sophisticated mastering genuinely accessible. So, wrapping up our deep dive here, the main takeaway feels really clear. Matchering isn't just some clever utility, it's bigger than that. It really embodies how free software empowers creators. By giving you control over a critical and often very expensive part of the production process, it breaks down walls.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. When you embrace tools like Matchering, especially in an open ecosystem like GNU Linux with Docker, you're doing more than just mastering tracks. You're essentially building a path to self-sufficiency, to real creative freedom in your own studio. It challenges that old idea that top quality production is only for those with big budgets or specialized training. It says, no, you can achieve professional sound in your space on your terms.
It's a powerful idea for sure, and it applies beyond music, really. We'd encourage you, our listeners, to maybe explore this more, look into other open source tools for your creative work, or just think about where else in your life proprietary systems dominate, and if there are more open, empowering alternatives. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep owning your craft.